Now, before we get into this, let me just apologize. I actually forgot to explain the rules of the game before this video. So, there's 3 rounds, 2 contestants. Each round, each player submits one waifu. They talk for 2 or 3 minutes about how this waifu is the greatest. At the end of each round, the judges talk amongst themselves for a couple of minutes to decide who wins that round. And they give a score out of 10 to each waifu. At the end of the 3rd round, both judges will reveal their scores for each waifu, and the guy with the most points wins, becomes the waifu certified, master, and the game is won. Enjoy. So this golden goddess right here is Archmage Demia. She's a wizard. In fact, the most powerful wizard in the entire world. As you can see, she's blonde. She's got these beautiful pink highlights. She dresses cutely. She drinks nice. She has beautiful blue eyes. And the main thing I want to tell you is that she's a really powerful magician, which gives her the ability to do basically anything you want. She can create clones of herself. She cooks her well. She's extremely smart. That's really useful. You want a girl who's smart. Someone who can take care of you, and she is exactly that. As a matter of fact, I'd say she's everything you want in a wizard woman.
Hello judges, now it's my turn to present my 3rd waifu. And I'll just start from the basics. Her name is Miku Nakano, and she comes from the anime called The Quintessential Quintuplets. So this is a brief introduction of who she is. If you don't know, her name means third. And the anime is about these 5 sisters who all like the same guy, or the story about how they interact with this one guy. And she's the 3rd sister from the 5. Why I think she's the best waifu from the show, and which constitutes my 3rd waifu of all time, is because she is the type to be quiet, kind of like Hinata. She's not really talkative, she's not really confident. But because of that, she tries to support the main character, whose name is Futaro, from behind the scenes. Everything she does is to support Futaro, and it's a very cute way because she's not really expressive, but you can tell that from behind the scenes, she doesn't need any recognition, she doesn't need to be acknowledged, but she's going to do everything she wants to help support Futaro. Some of her key traits include being shy, which I think is really cute in the sense that she always tries to rely on Futaro to help her go through her studies or try to do anything new. And in one episode, she's really bad at cooking, but because she likes Futaro, she tries her best to make these cookies and to please him with her cooking, which I find is really cute about her in particular. Throughout the show, she's been portrayed as the one that's closest to him, so she is at the moment the winner of the 5 girls, and I hope she does win in the end, and the 2nd season's coming out. Hello judges again. Welcome to the 2nd round of Waifu Wars. I'll be presenting my 2nd waifu first, before Daniel does. And my 2nd waifu that I've chosen for today, her name is Emilia, and she is from the show called RE0 Starring Life in Another World. Again, to explain what the show is about, it's about this guy called Subaru, and he gets transported to another world, into a fantasy world. We don't know why he's transported in this world, but it is clear that he is linked with this person called the Witch of Envy. And inside this fantasy world, everybody hates the Witch of Envy. Now apparently Subaru has this ability to go back in time and kind of reset and respawn when he dies. But every time he does so, he has this scent that gives off the smell of the Witch of Envy, so everybody hates Subaru. Now with that out of the way, I'll explain to you why I believe Emilia is a top tier waifu, or in my case, the 2nd waifu. So, just starting off from the looks, I think Emilia is very unique in the sense that she has purple eyes and white hair. Not many anime characters have a sort of fantasy and sort of elf look while pulling it off. Like a lot of times I see different species and they look too different from humans, but Emilia is the perfect combination of not really human but also still normal. So this, and from a physical standpoint, she looks really unique. And secondly, the most important part is her personality. As I said before, Subaru is always looked down upon by other people in the show because he smells like the Witch of Envy. And this is true in one episode where Rem suspects Subaru of being the actual Witch of Envy, and then that's the reason why Subaru dies and gets killed by Rem. Now, Emilia is the only person who trusts Subaru. Emilia stood up for him and she comforted him and gave him a lap pillow. Now that is one of the best shows in the scene, and it just shows her unceasing support for Subaru. And I believe that's the best quality of a waifu. It's the ability to never give up on your mans, and this person never gave up on Subaru.
Alright, so judges, you've heard about caring waifus, non-human waifus, extraterrestrial waifus. Let's go back to the basics here. This beauty right here is Aqua from Konosuba. Let me tell you something about her. Not only is she as beautiful as this, she can control water, she's a priest, and she's also a goddess. Now, she's from the show Konosuba, where this guy dies, and this goddess gives her a second chance at life. So you already know she's a benevolent and loving character. But the thing is, when this guy's reincarnated, he can bring one item with him, and he chooses to bring her. Now you think, okay, well this sounds stupid because she would just leave, but turns out she can't, and she ends up spending all her time in this fantasy world with this dude. Now, in this show there's other waifus, you know, not really waifus, but you know, women that dudes like that are really weird. You know, there's a short girl, there's a weird like blonde girl, but this is classic. Not only does she have that beautiful neon hair that dudes like us love to see today, she also loves to have fun. She's a priest, but you know, she loves to drink, she loves to flirt, and she likes to, you know, indulge in pleasures that all of us like doing. She loves eating, she loves drinking, like I said. And I just want to reiterate this because it's so important. She's smug, and she likes to have a lot of fun. That's all I want to say, you know? None of this motherly crap, all right? She just loves having a good time with her friends, and she's a goddess, so if you die, if you break your neck, you know, I'll censor this, but if she's on your and you until you pass out and you die, this is all censored, don't worry, she can bring you back to life, so you can do it again. Now, y'all know about the beautiful, benevolent, generous, and kind Aqua. Let's move on to this last waifu here that'll surely secure me this fat dub in Waifu Wars.
Yo, what?
So moving on from, you know, that last picture that did in fact cause my wrist injury. So this is the waifus depicted in the last image, but you know, obviously not as you know, gross, and disgusting. I don't know how that got there actually. So this is Toru from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. As you can see here, she is a maid, and in the story, basically, if you don't know about her, so Miss Kobayashi is this person who works in an office. She's sad. She lives alone. She hates being alone, as a matter of fact. And all of a sudden, this dragon called Toru, you know, asks her what she wants because Miss Kobayashi saves her life. And Miss Kobayashi says, "I want a maid," because she likes maids, you know, like, you know, in a different way. And she's very sweet. She's very kind. So she elects to become her maid. So she's got this traditional maid outfit here. She's got nice horns. I mean, people don't like to admit it, but we like something that's a little bit unique, a little bit different. She's got horns and a tail. And what you can't see here is she has these beautiful like red fire eyes that really complement how she looks. And so she's kind, she's loyal, she's obedient. And if you watch anime, you'll know this term. She's a bit of a tsundere, if you know what I mean. You know, like, she doesn't like to admit it a lot, but she really likes Miss Kobayashi and does it secretly. She looks at photos of her when she's a little kid, thinks she's cute. May sound gross, but she tries to lick her clothes. And overall, I think Miss Kobayashi is probably the best waifu of all time. I mean, look at her. She's caring, she's benevolent, and she takes care of this little kid dragon, which is really cute. And she gives her, you know, a lap pillow if you like that. Dana was talking about that with Amelia. And that's all I gotta say. I mean, she's just the perfect waifu.
Here I present to my judges my all-time favorite waifu. Her name is Mai Sakurajima, and she comes from a show called Rascals No Dream of Bunigo Senpai, or Bunigo Senpai for short. Now, I'm gonna start off with saying, I'm gonna admit that she isn't too interesting in the sense, like, she's not an elf, she's not a dragon. She's just a regular human being, but I think for the ultimate waifu, it has to be someone that, you know, has some sense of realism, because what's the point of, you know, liking somebody when you know, like, 100% they're not going to exist. You're never going to have a dragon maid, you're never going to have an elf maid, or like or anything that's like non-human. So I think for my number one spot, I have to give it to a human character. Now, with that being said, it's not like she's uninteresting or she's only, she's just a regular human. She's kind of iconic, and I think having the term bunny girl senpai is definitely like her defining trait. And although she has sort of a lewd or sexual connotation, it's not really like that. Her backstory is when she was a kid, she's a very popular celebrity, and at one point she wished to go undercover. She never wished to be popular because it put too much pressure on her. Now the whole show is about some supernatural things happening, and then one day this wish actually came true and she became invisible. Now, after meeting her current boyfriend Sakuta, she realizes how she overcomes her problems and she becomes visible again. So that's just a little bit of a side story. The main thing I want to address here is the fact, going back to my second one, I think the most important trait for being a waifu is to never stop supporting your mans. And I think Mai is the ultimate case of this. As I said before, she's a celebrity, she's super popular and one of the most well-known actresses in Japan in the world, or in this world. And Sakuta, on the other hand, is just sort of this loner guy who has no friends. Now, of course you would think, why would a popular guy be with a loner girl? I mean, a popular girl be with a loner guy? And people would think that way, but then she doesn't care about popularity. She doesn't care about any of this. She only cares Sakuta for who he is. And in the show that was sort of addressed, it's like, they asked why isn't she with someone like an actor? But she said that she likes Sakuta for who he is, which I find really admirable. Later in the movie, the sequel, she actually gives up her life for Sakuta, spoiler alert, and literally sacrifices herself to make to ensure the boyfriend lives on. So that's the best case of never letting go of your mans. And yeah, as Daniel said as well with Kobayashi, she is a bit of a tsundere. She acts as this senpai who is always mature, but inside she cares for him really deeply. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Mai Sakurajima. Yes, Abba.
Do you think your all-time waifu is better than Daniel's all-time waifu?
I will say 100%. Why? Because of, I guess, the first claim I made. I think having a waifu like Mai, because her roots is she's a human who will never stop supporting you, and I think that gives you this sort of idea that you can also find this waifu in real life. Obviously, you can't find the actual Mai, but then you have the image of someone who will never let go of your side, and I think that's the ultimate point of having a waifu, is to make sure that you can relate to this somewhat in the real life as well.
With both contestants submitting all 3 waifus each, it's up to the judges to decide who will win this match of fictional women. But it took a lot of arguing, and even more arguing to decide the criteria to see who would make the perfect waifu. But now, here are the results.
The winner of Waifu Wars
Is
2020 is the man who created the game show.
Yes! Oh my god. Oh my god.
How do I front-facing camera this? Thank you. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I did not write this in any way. This is completely natural. I mean, I just won. I mean, come on, I mean, it's just a game. Like, come on, like, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh my god, I can't wait to tell my mom, my dad. I mean, it's kind of ironic because this guy, he's the guy who introduced me to anime, and I just have, what? I mean, like, I'm just like, whoa, I'm just like really excited, dude. Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling?
This is the worst day of my life.
He bought the judges.
I mean, dude, like, come on.
How much were you paying?
I'm having fun. We're just having a good old time, guys. I mean, like, yeah.